Hey, you guys, this is Allie Colleen, and you're listening to The Deans of Nashville with Dawn and Grit.
Well, hello. Anybody that comes in, watches this later, especially in Manchester when you hear this on Saturdays, welcome to Deans of Nashville. I am the Don. Now, Grizz is usually with me, and we're just waiting for him to get here. But I'm excited because the artists that we have on today, Hemp and Denim, I've been listening to your music. So first, I want to welcome you both here.
Thank you so much. Do we call you Don or the Don?
Hey, whatever you want. If you want to call me the Don, then I got to slip into the whole Jersey thing there.
Okay.
Which I can do. I can do that. It's so it's Hemp Meadows and Sky Denim
Sky.
Yes.
Denim Sky.
Great. Like I was saying before the show, I said, wow, those are just two. Are those your actual names or are they stage names?
Well, it's kind of a combination of both. Don, we decided a few years ago that we were going to change our names and accept a completely new identity.
That's right. We changed our whole personas.
Yeah, we decided we were going to reinvent ourselves and do something completely different. And that's what we've been pursuing for the last 4 years.
And that's how Hemp and Denim came to be. I
love it. I think it's original, and again, Hemp Meadows, Denim Sky. You can't get any better than that.
Thank you.
When we were talking before about genres, I think that's the thing about you guys is it's hard to put you into one show because we got two shows, one more country, more rock. I think in some of your songs, you definitely gravitate to a pop rock.
It's true.
Outfit, and then other times you're Americana folk, and so. There's no center lane that says this is exactly who Hemp and Denim are. So is that how
which show are we in?
You're in Nashville.
The Nashville show.
But I could easily take this audio and put it on the other side too, or the video.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you why I think it comes off that way. And it's because we grew up in the 60s. Like I was 11 years old when the Beatles hit the Ed Sullivan Show. So I was already familiar with pop music. I'd been listening since the mid 50s or so, late 50s, and the radio and was really immersed in it. And I was one of those kids that had a hairbrush and held it upside down in the mirror and pretended like I was singing, And so I always knew that's what I wanted to do. I wrote my first songs in second grade. And so by the time the Beatles happened, I'd already been studying percussion at a really high level and playing drums. And when I saw Ringo and the Beatles, it completely changed my world. It's like a lot of people that saw that show that night said the world went from black and white to Technicolor. Mm-hmm. And it was fabulous to find out there was a group that had their own look, their own style, wrote their own songs, and were just phenomenally new, fresh, exuberant, and different than anything else that had ever been before. So that was life-changing for, most of the kids that saw it. And, from there, like that
but
was
I think the point of what you were saying is the variety of music that was available when we were teenagers was more, the AM radio played all sorts of different kinds of music.
Right.
From soul music to folk music to standards. You'd have Frank Sinatra up there with Elvis and then the Beatles and just the Motown stuff. And so we were kind of raised on this variety of music. And I think Hemp and Denim kind of carry that tradition on.
Well, from there, we went into the Beatles you had Carnaby Street, the Beatles, the Stones, the Who, the English Invasion, and then the San Francisco sound came out with Jefferson Airplane, Grateful Dead, Santana. And then, of course, the LA Laurel Canyon scene that we both love so much. We lived in Laurel Canyon, so we were part of that scene. It was fabulous. But what I'm saying,
a later date.
What I'm saying is that from 1965 to 1985 was kind of the golden age of music.
That's what we think.
And that was our era, and that's the influences that we picked. So, and also like you'd hear a guy like Billy Joel or Elton John or something like that. And these were individual singer-songwriters, but every song varied. You can never pin down Billy Joel, like he was always going to have a different song. So we just kind of followed in that tradition, I guess.
Absolutely. And I could tell that in your music, the influences. I guess we should start with the song London Town. as you know, our show, we focus on the songs and the music and the moments in songs. I thought it's very interesting because before I ever read the press release about it, I heard B-52s in it.
How cool.
I did, because easily I could hear Fred Schneider in there doing your part. You sing better, no offense to Fred. Fred had a unique voice, but he wasn't a singer, if you will. He knew how to deliver on certain songs.
Sure did.
Right. So that's what I mean is you bring in that whole vibe.
Well, Love Shack and Rock Lobster are two of our favorite songs. And see, that's got more of an 80s influence to it.
Yeah. It wasn't intentional when we did the song.
No.
He wrote the song, and I'm trying to figure out what to do. Do I harmonize on this line? How do I put a little denim into the hemp? And it just kind of came out, the talking. And so that's how it occurred.
Well, and even that, I think it's more when I hear B-52s, it's the harmonies. That's the one thing that Kate and who's the other one? The two, Kate Pearson and I forgot her name. But that was one of that they brought to the band, was the harmonies, together. And when I'm listening to the song, not only is there the speaking part, but when the harmonies hit. And I think that's one thing throughout all these tracks, that the harmony, when you bring that in, Denim, it really makes these songs at another level.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm very sensitive to hemp since we've been married 37 years. So it's easy for me to kind of match my enunciation and my tones. And our singing together is a beautiful thing, I think. We love doing it.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful
Well, we didn't know that this was going to happen because, we were just talking about earlier about when we changed our names and decided to assume the new identities of rock stars. We had not sung together for decades, and it just wasn't something that was on our radar screen. And that's the reason why we decided we wanted to do it, because it was now or never. And so we said, this is our love, our passion. We put it to the sideline to have careers and build our lives in different directions during the 90s and the 2000s, and now it was time to figure out what we wanted to do. So when we started singing together, we were so delighted to find out we still could sing, and right. That what you're talking about with the ability that we have to sound like brother and sister, or the Carpenters or the Everly right. Brothers or the Crosby, Stills and Nash. I mean, our voices blend incredible.
Right. The family groups that had those.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's just a God-given thing. You could not predict it, And then also that Denim would dig my music enough to want to sing it.
Thank goodness, because I don't think we'd still be married if I didn't dig it.
And I happen to know a very big country star who is married to a very big movie star who doesn't really dig his music that much. No names.
Yeah. Well, you know what happens, but I think that's the old cliche pickup line was always like, we're going to make beautiful music together. And you know what I mean? Like, you're actually doing what that saying said.
Well, and we're trying to do that in our lives. And I think we've accomplished that prior to deciding we wanted to sing together. Because on another level, singing together is a really sensitive thing, and it takes a lot of work, and you don't always agree. It can be one more thing to disagree about in some ways.
True.
Because if you're trying to develop a sound and like you're talking about enunciation and when you sing and when you don't sing and everything.
I don't want to sing that note. It's too high. That comes up.
Yeah, and I'm bringing in an arrangement, and she doesn't want to do it. And now we've got to work through that, right? That hasn't happened at all. But so we've got a pretty great life, and the music we kind of felt would be like the cherry on top if we could do it. Because in Nashville, you don't fool around, man. I mean, it's like you can decide that you want to do something. You better be good enough to carry your weight around this town, man. Otherwise,
Well, you got to hustle. I mean, there's hundreds of people competing for someone's attention.
Exactly. And so many of them are great. When I first started playing the guitar again, Don, I went out to open mics, and I started playing open mics, and I was astonished about how great so many unsigned songwriters were that, you'd hear at least one or two songs every evening from somebody that you'd go, wow, that is an incredible work of art. It should be on the radio. And, you know, most of us will never make the radio, and most of us wind up just doing this for love. And but you realize that the level of talent in this town, it's like a friend of mine from Philadelphia said he went back home over, a couple of months ago, and he was talking with some musician friends of his, and they were saying, yeah, we're thinking about coming out to Nashville. And he said, don't do it. Don't do it. Because here's why. 90% of the guys in Nashville are better than the 10% of the best guys here. Mm-hmm. And that's really true.
Yeah.
But we don't care about that because we're just unique and we're just being who we are.
Yeah.
Well, that's
so we never let that stop us.
We never let that stop.
No, you shouldn't, because let me tell you, when we play some of these songs, now you do have one that I will say is my favorite.
Oh, really?
I've had it on repeat. And if you see 500 ups in your plays, it's
That's
me.
Cool.
And I'll get to that song.
Okay, can't wait to find out what it is.
Yeah, it's exactly in my wheelhouse. And when I get to that song, I got to ask who produced it, because the production on it is so good. Because I hear everything, including the bass parts. But let's get to London Town. I was talking up that song. Now, one of the things that's special is there's a live performance that hasn't been released yet. It's going to be released on the 22nd.
Right. We did this London Town. It was our very first show that we did.
Yes, and I have the honor of playing it here.
Thank you.
For Friday.
Far out.
And I think it shows, there's always the studio track, but it's really awesome to see it in a live setting because it's raw. I mean, it's without a net.
Pretty raw.
Law is right. Most lives are without a net, right? Anything can happen.
Exactly.
But that's the thrill of it, of a live performance, right? There's no like, okay, stop. Okay, let's track it again. There's none of that. So let's go to here. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Cool.
Is
that going to be on the whole screen?
It should be.
Oh, good. I can put my glasses on.
Do you see it?
No, we don't see it.
You don't see it yet?
Not yet.
What did I do here? Let's see. What did I do wrong? Click, click, click. Oh, I wonder if I'm not. I think I opened it in the wrong window. Let me fix that.
Okay.
I had it in the wrong window.
That can change everything.
I had to clear all my tabs. I got to do it from IE or Edge. I can't do it from Google.
Yeah, right on.
Well, there we go. Good work now. Here we go. All right, now let me share. All right, this should work, I hope. Oh.
Well, this was shot live at the Whiskey Room in Cool Springs.
Yep.
Nice.
And we had lots of wonderful friends there, and it was a beautiful time. It was our very first show that Hemp and Denim ever did.
Wow. Well, this is even more special.
In fact, we weren't even Hemp and Denim. You'll see by the backdrop, we were Hemp Meadows. So
that's awesome.
Hemp and Denim came right after we got all the expensive branding for Hemp Meadows done.
Very cool. That's always what happens.
Yeah.
All right. Do you see the screen now?
We're seeing a black screen. Yeah.
How about
somehow inexplicable?
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to back it up.
Here we go. All right.
Here it is. This is live official video of London Town. We're going to let it play through
the debut.
Together.
And somehow inexplicably, he ran into a little bit of money and decided to go down to London Town. Well, I came into a windfall.
Sounds interesting.
I mean, a mighty chunk of change.
That gives you options.
And as you might imagine, there was many things in my life I thought I'd like to rearrange.
I like to travel.
So I went down to London. It's a crazy little town.
Oh yeah.
If you've never been to London, you ain't never been around. Oh baby, let's go down to London Town. Find out what it's all about. So I checked into the Mayfair,
I love that hotel.
and I took a look around. I wondered how long I could stay there,
It is expensive.
and where some action could be found.
Here we go!
So I went up to the penthouse, and I knocked upon the door. This big Asian dude came out and said, I hope you know what you came here for. Oh, baby, let's go down to London town, find out what it's all about. Crazy scenes with kings and queens until the money runs out. Let's go down to London town, find out what it's all about. Shake that thing, gonna make it sing until the money runs out, baby, until the money runs out. Hey, hey, hey! I said I was a gambler, I was always open to a game. He said, well, that might be true, sir, but you're in London now, and we don't even know your name. I said my name was Janet, I bet you probably won. You might get all of my money, but I'm gonna have my fun. Oh, baby, let's go down to London town, find out what it's all about. Crazy scenes with kings and queens until the money runs out. Woo! Let's go down to London town, find out what it's all about. Take that thing, gonna make it sing until the money runs out, baby. Until the money runs out, baby. Until the money runs out, baby. Baby, baby. Hey, 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 hey.
Now that
Oh yeah.
exactly. Oh yeah, that is a live performance.
Sure was.
That's awesome. Now that there's so much going on there. First of all, you have that one. She was loving that, running around the room.
Yeah, that was our friend, artist Von Derry. She's a real character and talented.
Yeah.
She's a stylist, hairdresser, and an artist.
Well, that was the thing. Like, there's people were really into it. Now, I read, Hemp, that you like stories where there's a protagonist and like basically a story. And then this one's all about a gambler in London, right? That's
Yeah.
really the whole deal.
Uh-huh.
What was there an inspiration, or you just what created this whole
Yeah,
story?
there was actually inspiration, Don. It's like I was, Denim and I were on a trip to England, and we were staying in London, and we happened to walk by the Mayfair Hotel, which is one of the most expensive and richest hotels in London and even the world. And there was, you know, all these incredible luxury cars, totally exotic cars, including Bugattis, which are $1 million plus automobiles, that were sitting there out front. And I was thinking, man, This is a collection of some really wild dudes that would drive these kinds of cars for that kind of money.
Right.
And they got to be in the hotel doing something together.
What are they doing?
Right. And I figured if these guys are here, there's probably some kind of major high stakes game going on up on the top floor of the penthouse up there. Something's happening up there. I'd wonder what it might be. And so that was the inspiration, because I made up this story about this Johnny guy that wanted to crash that party.
Well, I'm telling you, like I said, that song is outstanding. And
Thank you.
It really, really is good. And hold on, I'm going to make a note right here. I think my co-host is in here. I have this feeling that he thought it was 9:00.
Oh.
I see him in here making notes, and I don't think he realizes, but I am on with them now.
That sounds just like Grizz. That's totally something he would do.
Yeah, right.
You know him?
No.
But hopefully he sees that note and he comes in here. I think that's what it
Right,
is.
exactly.
He's got all this time in the world, and we're a half hour in already. That's
Right. Well,
Well-
we're doing pretty good with you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm used to
Enjoying the conversation.
I started the show by myself, so I brought him in to just to rehash what it was like in the 90s, but we're doing good. That you have another song out that I want to talk about called Ride. This song is also a solid one. There's a moment in this song at 40 seconds.
Okay.
This is one that I put on TikTok, as a matter of fact.
Oh, did you? Thank you.
Well,
I
I hope
don't-
it goes viral and gets 1 billion streams.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Well, people are actually commenting on it that they love the song.
Oh, no kidding.
Really?
Wow.
And the note I got is the part that I played on there. Let me see.
Okay.
Like I said, thanks to me having to reboot earlier. Let me pull it up here. So we played London Town. Now we're going to go to Ride. And I said 40 seconds. Let me go there. Get this queued up. This is what everybody heard. And it's a beautiful part of the song. And I'll tell you what it reminded me of
Okay.
in a beautiful way. Here's the clip. So here it is. This is Ride, another recent single. Beautiful song. Let's play it right here.
They say nothing lasts forever, but as long as we're together, I believe that life is good and things turn out the way they should. I don't want this ride to end, and maybe someday we'll go riding, take that trip we never took. We'll pack it up and leave forever, and never take a second look.
God, is that beautiful. It brought me to almost like a whole Traveling Wilburys thing, like the Tom Petty's, the George Harrisons. I mean, that's what that reminded me of, with Denim coming in with these beautiful harmonies. That's what it brought me back to. You know, you talked about your influences in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and
Yeah.
that really just highlighted it there. You know, especially that Tom Petty vibe I was getting, where I could hear him if he was still alive.
Yeah. Yeah. For
performing that
sure.
song. Yeah, I mean,
That's one of the bands when we have to figure out sounds. Who do we sound like? We usually say Tom Petty is one of the selections
On that song.
in that
But
song.
not on the last song.
No.
For instance, you know.
no,
So
not
it's
just in that particular song. Like I said, no one can ever pigeonhole you into anything. I mean, there's influences or things that it reminds you of. It's like a scent. You hear a scent. Grandma's. It doesn't mean that your song sounds like that people. It brings you to that place.
That kind of feeling.
Right. Like if you put on a Tom Petty record, that's where you'd put on a Hemp and Denim record, right? That part right there just reminds you of that.
That's cool. Well, Petty and George Harrison, everybody in the Traveling Wilburys was an influence on us for sure.
Absolutely. I even hear on some of the songs a little Roy Orbison.
Yeah, a little bit.
There could be. We are always, sometimes fans write in and they go, you sound like this, that, or the other. And it's always interesting to us. It's been fascinating to hear your perspective on this, Don, because thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Mm-hmm. So glad you enjoy it and that you're, made some notes and, you felt like you wanted to talk to us. So that's just awesome.
Yeah.
Sure
tremendous. Yeah. So one person wrote in and they said, you guys sound like the Beatles, the Monkees, and the Beach Boys all rolled into one. And I went, okay. And I thought about the Monkees. I was going, I don't know about the Monkees. And I thought they had some of the top pop hits, like on AM radio.
So that's a big compliment.
Written by some of the best songwriters in the business, Bobby Hart and guys like that, and Jimmy Webb and different people, and then performed by the Wrecking Crew. So, the top studio musicians in LA. So I was going, yeah, I'll take that. And of course, the Beatles and the Beach Boys, who wouldn't want to be in that category? So you put those three together. Do we sound like any one of them? No, not particularly exactly, but kind of.
There is one song, I made a note, it's on my phone. Because I when I'm doing a lot of things, I listen to record, especially an artist that I'm going to be talking to. And then, again, there's one song I could not stop listening to. It was hard for me to move on because it was that good.
Wow.
There is one song on here. Let me look at my notes. It was, you mentioned the Wrecking Crew. One of the people that worked on the Wrecking Crew a lot were the Association. You actually have a song that reminds me of the Association, which I've had.
Fantastic group.
I had Jim Yester on the show.
Wow.
That was amazing, where he broke down Windy and Cherry.
Wow, that would have been fascinating.
Yeah, I'll share you guys the link. I'll send it to.
That'd be great.
Along Comes Mary. I mean, Cherry. They had so many great songs.
Yeah, he talked about every song you can think of that was a hit with the Association that and I loved them. Their harmonies and their pop harmonies were out of this world.
Totally.
And how they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is beyond me. I mean,
But Janet Jackson is.
Yeah, I mean, that makes
Come on, man.
They're iconic. But yeah, so you guys just have so many songs. It's like I'm going through it. Let me go. Why don't I play the song that I was hoping Grizz would get here so we can talk about? I see him making notes in here, and let me pull out one of his, and hopefully he'll see this note and finally join us. He mentioned in Ride that he loves this part at 155. He says it's beautiful with like 3 exclamation points. So why don't I do that? He said in Ride, there's this moment here at 155. See, like I said, we were like long lost brothers. Wow,
that's so cool.
We listen to music the same exact way, and we'll tell each other, hey.
How cool is that?
So you're thinking in the 90s, this is before computers. We would call each other on analog phones and put the phone up to the speaker.
Right.
Smart. Look at this.
Yeah.
It's really distorted, but it sounds awesome,
Yeah, right.
Here, I want to go to his part here that he mentioned at 155. And let's go here. Oh, am I not showing it right? Let's see. That looks still, I don't have the right clip up. Where is it? 155. Here it is. All right. That should be it. There we go. So 155. Let's play this. Do it all again with you. Do you see it?
Yeah.
All right, good. I was making sure you could see it moving. Here we go.
I'd do it all again with you. I don't want this ride to end. And maybe someday we'll go riding. Take that trip we never took. We'll pack take a second look. Oh, I have been a witness to the healing power of forgiveness. And when all is said and done, we've only just begun. I don't want this ride. I don't want this ride. I don't want this ride to end. Oh, I don't want this ride to end.
Absolutely beautiful. Now I know where I put beautiful with 3 exclamation points.
Nice.
Well, I love this music video too, Don, because you can see in my eyes how much I love Hemp.
Yeah, that is definite. Your smile there is not fake. And I think that it seems like I'm assuming, Hemp, you write the songs, right?
I do, yeah.
So when you're playing, do you go like, hey, Denim, I want you to listen to this, and then you start playing it? Is that how it goes? And you go, oh, the first time you hear it, are you floored? Like that song?
No, that's not how it goes. It goes, he gets an idea and he works it for days and days, and I can hear it through the wall. And then the song will come together more and more, and then he works on the lyrics more and more and more, and I'm listening it through the wall for hours. And then eventually it's done. And by the time it's done, I already know what I'm going to do vocally.
Oh, because you've heard it through the wall.
Exactly.
That's awesome. I hear a song.
Yeah, that's why when I was first starting to play and get it back together again, and I was going to these open mics, I wasn't very good, but I was working on it and I was getting better, but I was having to, go out there and, figure it out on my own, because she never did come out, not once, to an open mic and sit in the audience and listen to me. She never came out to support me. She never came out to sit there and listen. And I asked her about it one day. I said, baby, how come you never come out and listen to me? And she goes, because I got to listen to you at home.
Yeah.
Why should I have to subject myself to come out and listen to you out there?
Well, the truth is I'm very, very tolerant, because I know that he needs to do this in order to perfect the song.
It's true. I mean, look.
It's not easy being around somebody that's writing a song, in the other room.
We're in a condo, so he wrote all these songs, like 24 songs, in our little condo.
I have an extra bedroom I turned into a writer's den.
There you go.
Yeah, a little setup, an iPad, and it's nothing except for just the ability. I've got a couple of guitars. That's it. And I just, I love the sound that I'm creating, and I feel like sometimes I can tune into the vibe of the frequency of the music that wants to come through. And by really focusing on it and paying attention to it, and yet finding freedom within just letting it be what it wants to be, if it's enough to capture my imagination that I want to work on it, it's got to be really good, because otherwise, it takes so much effort and so long period of time. You've got to really romantically fall in love with your own songs.
Right.
Before you want to spend the time on them to make them good. And that's one of the reasons why I think a lot of songwriters are a little, recalcitrant to go out and talk with people about it, because so much of their personal life is in that song. And yet you have to be able to step away from it. And that's why it's always really great to have a producer who can help you bring your vision to life.
100%. 100%. And that's the thing with me too, is I've had songs that I've written, and I think the most crazy thing that happens is when you can write a song in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, that happens sometimes, doesn't it?
A steady stream of consciousness. Now,
This comes through. Yeah.
And every songwriter I've ever talked to, or most that I've talked to, have said the same thing. Like, it's a lot of times songs aren't yours. And what I mean by that is they're coming from some spirit realm. That's
Absolutely.
what and you're a conduit to somebody trying to get their message out.
That's right.
Exactly.
because I will literally look down at a paper and I go, I have no idea where this came from, but the lyrics, it's so lyrically put together well that if I thought about it, I wouldn't write it.
Right. Yeah, sure.
So yeah,
Beautiful space.
it's awesome when you can look back and you almost give credit to, like, you almost don't want to say, look what I did, because I know if I were to sit down and focus on that, I wouldn't write it as good.
Yeah.
What I let come through me worked, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's unpredictable, and I don't think that you know, very seldom does that happen, but when it does, you realize that, you know, you are touching God, or God's touching you. Love is in the air, literally, and it's the sound of spirit that's descending into matter, and it just happens to be coming through you because you're focused on it at that moment, and the way you're playing the guitar or the piano or whatever is inhabiting that sound and bringing it forth, and it just wants to be born. So it just, sometimes it just comes through like that. Other times you got to craft it and work it really hard. But I found that, you know, generally speaking, a song that's really a good song, it doesn't write itself, but it presents opportunities for directions to go in, you know. And sometimes it's an inspiration, and sometimes you find the inspiration just in the rhythm, or the chords inspire something else and makes you want to go there, you know.
What I appreciate about Hemp is that he's willing to put in the extra effort, especially lyrically, to make sure that the lyrics are really as good as they can possibly be. And I think that comes through in our songs.
They really, really do. There's another one. Now, another song I wanted to talk to you about is a song called Follow Your Heart. Found it interesting that you shot the video at Pass-A-Girl. Now, I live about 20 minutes from Pass-A-Girl.
Oh, yeah?
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting.
For sure.
It's in near St. Pete.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was very exciting when we shot that video, Don, because it was kind of a last minute thing. We were going to take a little vacation, and I thought, why should we take a vacation and not, we need to make this a business trip, so let's shoot a video. And so we were able to find a guy that had a big remote video truck with all the equipment and everything, and he happened to be free and had a friend down there in St. Pete he could stay with, and so we put it all together in a matter of a couple of days.
That's awesome.
And got down there, and the weather, thank God it didn't rain, but there was tremendous wind the whole time we were shooting, the 2 days. And people ask us, do we have a wind machine? But I think it added a lot to the video.
Oh yeah, it looks great. It looks great. Let me play a little bit of this. This is Follow Your Heart. What we want to focus on here is the thing called the bass line, which we love.
Oh yeah.
Let's do this right here.
From the veranda, we watch the sun go down without a sound on the ocean. These emotions might not ever come again. I look in your eyes, and to my surprise, I see my world stretching out before me. I feel so free, I never wanted to end. Gotta follow your heart. I come for a walk, but then I find myself just wandering around in circles.
God, I could play this whole song. I mean, it's that good.
Thank you.
Long that is. I mean, right? You know, even Grizz had the note about the bass line there. It's just an awesome bass line, that tonality, the tonality in it. But then you guys come in right in with harmonies. There's no like just Hemp. I mean, you two throughout, and it sounds dynamic. And
thank you.
That's one of the songs where Denim sings
Through the whole
through
thing.
the whole song on every line. Yeah, that's a total
Beautiful.
harmony song. Yeah, that's a duet all the way through.
And it works. It works on that one. It's amazing.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun putting the backing vocals in on that too, because there's a lot of, all the vocals you hear is us. And so we wrote the arrangement and did it. And, we were talking about having a great producer. Jim Frazier is our producer, and he lives here in Nashville. And he's been the greatest blessing of our
We found him
career.
at the very beginning when we first got started. We, on a whim, did a songwriters night, and he was one of the judges. And he was so complimentary afterwards. He just really he got it. He said, "You guys remind me of the Hollies." And we said, "Oh, that's good. That's a good thing." And so a few months later, when we were ready to start recording, we checked him out and we decided to go with him. And the fit was so good that he got exactly what we wanted on every song we've done with him. So he has produced all of our music thus
What's
far.
his name?
Jim Frazier.
Jim Frazier.
What's the name of his place?
B-Side Productions.
Where is it located?
It's located over on George Patton in Cool Springs.
In Coral Springs?
Cool Springs,
Cool Springs.
Tennessee, Franklin, Tennessee.
Gotcha. Well, let me go to my favorite song.
Okay.
The one
I'm curious to
This
see
is
what
great.
this
I
is.
had on a loop and could not stop. And I'm telling you, this is like, since we're talking classic, this is one that I would have bought the 45 and just played it over,
Right on.
over and over again. Like
Wow, I can't wait.
I had 45s that I did. Like I'd literally just put it right back on.
Right, I remember that. I remember those days.
They were great, right?
Yeah.
But in this day and age, I can just put it on repeat. It's beautiful. Just let it go before you know it. And I never get sick of it. I did not get sick of this song. That's how you know it's
Right.
a great song.
Yeah.
Everything about this song just blew me away. And so I really hyped it up. I know.
Well, I can't wait to see which one it is. I'm so thankful you have one. I mean, this has been spectacular for us to hear your interest in all these songs.
Well, I'm happy you. First of all, you're both extremely talented. It's songs like this, though, that just make music what it is to me. I mean, like I said, that's those type of songs that kind of change everything.
Okay,
Take
cool.
My Breath Away is the song. Everything about this song is perfect, from production to everything. I mean, there's three different parts in this song that just give me goosebumps, right?
Wow.
Well, let's start from the beginning. I mean, think about it. I always listen to an album front to back. I'm old school, as you always should listen to music. So when I
Okay.
your album, when I got to this, it just stopped me in my tracks. And I went, oh my God, I haven't heard a song like this in a long time. That just made me stop in my tracks. So let me play parts of this song throughout, just to highlight how great this song is to me. You Take My Breath Away. Here we go.
Went for a walk just around midnight. I wanted to get lost in the starlight. We had just finished making love for two. I came back and saw you were sleeping. I thought of all the secrets you're keeping. I'm sure I only know maybe one or two. But I love you. Oh, I love you. Oh, I really do. I really love you. Oh, I love you. Oh, I really do. I really love you. Listen to me now. There's something I need to say. You take my breath away.
Jeez. That chorus pops in and I got goosebumps now. The way you keep that chorus in,
Thank
With-
you.
jeez. Like I said, I never get sick of the song.
Oh, I'm so glad.
So I want to go to there's a change in this song.
There's nothing left to say. You take my breath away. Hey, 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 hey. I'm just beginning to understand how much life comes without a plan. Take my hand and we're standing in the rain. It's all the same.
God, like I said, the production, the sound is so crisp on this. Like this song just pops at me. It's just that song that comes around not often. That just takes your breath away. I guess, no pun intended.
Yeah, wow.
It's that
We
type.
showed fun shooting the video. We actually had rain, so the weather cooperated with us.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah,
You know the song? You know Alan Parsons, right?
yeah.
Do you know the song "Don't Answer Me"?
I don't know if I remember that song particularly.
Don't break the silence. Don't.
Oh yeah, that's the name of it. Yeah, I know that song for sure.
Right.
Hmm.
There's an instrument in it. I don't even know what you call it. It kind of makes this rattle noise in it.
Okay.
Right? If there's that part right here, I could hear it like see that little rattle. Like when you go take my hand, I hear that in there. Like I could hear that in there. Like if that was
Yeah.
it would just add that little extra little thing in there. This is me being a producer, sorry.
There you go.
Although this producer kicked ass. I'm not taking anything away from that. Sounds amazing. Just that little bit right there, it just sounds like it would fit in that. And then the outro. Like
Oh, yeah.
you think you can't do any better, and then you do this outro.
I just gotta say, you take my breath away. You take my breath away. There's nothing left to say. You take my breath away. Hey, 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 hey. Baby, you take my breath away. Baby, you take my breath away.
Unbelievable song. I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's classic pop songwriting, isn't it?
Oh, but it's just out of this world amazing. I'm serious.
But we took it to a new level.
Yes, you did. I mean, like I said, I've not been stopped in my tracks in a long time when I'm listening to a record.
Yeah.
You know, it brought me back to those times where I'd buy an album where I didn't know many of the songs. Like I just knew a song.
Exactly.
And then you hit that track and you're like, oh my God. And you're like, this was so worth buying it because now I found this gem in it. And it didn't matter what the rest of the record sounded like because you know you got one thing. That's that song to me. So
Well, on this record, what we tried to do was, and on every record we've done, is to put a collection of songs together that really sounds like an album, like we used to have in the old days when an album would come out. It wasn't just a collection of singles that were thrown together, and there was just one great song on the album, and you'd buy the whole album, which was basically crap just to get that one song.
right.
But I'll never forget buying Sky Pilot by the Animals or Eric Burdon. It's like every song on there sucked except for Sky Pilot,
Right.
which was like 6 minutes long. And was it worth the price of the record? I don't know, but I kind of felt gypped, and I was only 12 years old,
Mm-hmm. No, I get it.
But, after hearing the Beatles and, the 70s was all about sitting down, getting high, listening to music together with your friends, going through an album, song after song, one song led to the next. And then you turn the record over and that was side 2,
Right.
And it would take you on a total journey. And I don't know if we accomplished that, but we wanted to make it so that there was a flow from one song into the next, and there was a different mood that, kind of happened, and that there was a moment. We're shooting for moments in the song, like you're talking about, Don, where there's some moments where there's dynamics, and we can take it up again and turn it around and add that coda out and make something really new and different.
No, you did it. I mean, you did accomplish it. That whole record is great. Like, I could talk about every song, but I had to before the show and then highlight that one. And yeah, that happened. A thing that's happened to me that's magical too, that I tell people, is there's been times I bought a record and I wondered why I bought it. And then 10 years later or 15 years later, I wind up loving it.
Wow.
You're not in the right headspace for that album or that thing.
Yeah.
And then there's songs like that I did not like years ago. And then I wind up loving them all these years later. And I didn't appreciate it or whatever. And then I do. So, although with your record, that didn't happen. Awesome. And I said, you guys are amazing. Now, I did want to highlight this for everybody. There's the Denim Sky deal here. Denim Sky design. You want to talk about this, Denim?
Oh, cool.
Well, I just created a new line of yoga pants, and I've taken my artwork. I'm a painter, and I've had high quality fine art scans made of them. And I was trying to think, my art is kind of expensive. I'd like people to be able to have some. And I was thinking maybe if I could put them on a garment that'd be more affordable, that people would enjoy wearing. So I made up these yoga capris for summer that are so cute and comfortable. And I've just started selling them. I've got on my little Shopify site. But this is all Denim Sky original artwork. And it's my first product. And we're going to have more products as we go along, because I want to create clothes and accessories and stuff for people that will make them feel happy, like my art does and like our music does. Our music is generally pretty upbeat and uplifting. So that's what I'm trying to do with these yoga pants. And they hide a multitude of flaws, I have to say.
There's nothing like coming out with artwork and you get to see women wearing it.
Yeah. So it's going to be pretty fun. In fact, Hemp wore a pair of them on our last big show. We did a big Memorial Day show, and he wore a pair. So that was pretty fun.
Oh, look
yeah.
at that. They're unisex.
Yeah, I was like a glam rocker.
He looked very glamorous.
I was like someone, it's like David Bowie or Mick Jagger would have worn these back in the 60s or something,
Look at you.
Mick would have worn a bigger sock.
Yeah, I'd really give you a run for your money if I tried to put them on. I'll tell you. You'd be like, the material doesn't stretch like that.
Oh, it's very stretchy. Very stretchy.
Yeah, it's 82% polyester and 18% spandex, and it stretches.
Real soft and stretchy.
In fact, that's how I wound up wearing them, Dawn, was I was admiring the design, because Denim's a fabulous artist. And she was able to take, her paintings. Not all of them worked, but some of them did, and some of them worked spectacularly well. Those are the 5 different patterns we chose. But she put those onto these yoga pants, which I'd never worn. And I was looking at them, and I was just going, wow, these are incredible. And she says, well, why don't you try them on? And I said, they'll never fit. It's an extra large. She goes, try them on. I said, well, I'll try them on. And I put them on, and they fit great. And I'm wearing yoga pants for the first time in my life. And I'm like loving it, because they're so soft and comfortable. It's like you're wearing nothing at all. Now I understand what all the gals are into, man, why they're wearing them all the time. So now I'm wearing these, I'm kind of parading around the apartment here with these incredible looking yoga pants on with this wild design. And she goes, well, why don't you go down to the wine shop and buy us some wine and see if anybody notices? And I went, okay, I'm going to do that. I'll see you on that. I'm going down to the wine store, and so I went down there, and everybody, the guys, like, I didn't take any ribbing. Everybody's like going, holy crap, man, those are incredible. Where did they get those? You know? And I looked like I was just, getting ready to walk on the stage. So in fact, I did when we had our big Memorial Day show, which was fabulous. Huge crowd, outdoor event, big sound and lighting and everything. And I'll shoot you a picture later of what it looked like. It was fabulous to wear those pants.
Which ones did you wear? These?
I wore
wore the Deep Sea Dream.
Deep Sea Dreams.
So if you click on it, it's the second
that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one I was on.
Click on it, you'll get a big one. Yeah.
Those are the ones. And I wore the full length, not the capri. That was a little bit too much. So I wore the full length that goes all the way down to your ankles there. They were, I can't wait to do it again.
It's like that secret deodorant where like it's strong enough for a man but made for a woman. That kind of
But Denim's so talented, and she's got this line, so we're very excited about being able to present this as well too. And it's in her own Denim Sky Designs.
Yeah, hopefully it'll
Shopify store. And then she's done,
off.
she's got some other stuff that she's doing it with as well too, for housewares and home furnishings.
Nice.
Yeah, we're going to build a whole line around the Denim Sky Designs brand.
But the main thing for today is Hemp and Denim, the band.
Hemp and Denim, the band. As you can see, Grizz has joined us, and I see
Well, thank you so much, Grizz, for showing up right
Hey guys.
right at the end.
Very nice of you.
Yeah, I was like, is this a music show or?
Yeah.
Did you get your clock wrong?
Yeah, you just stumbled into a music show.
We started at 8.
Oh, you started at 8.
Yeah.
Oh, my thing says 9
Where?
on my
There you go.
invite.
It says 9 on your invite?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I better check that because you sure about that?
So I missed it.
Yeah, we're pretty much done now.
Yeah.
Unless they want to do a little overtime because I did an hour, but
Well, as long as you're gushing
Oh,
about
but-
us, I think we might be able to stick
we
around.
can take a little more of that. It's good for the soul.
yes, well,
Makes you feel like keeping on going, when people appreciate it.
Makes you feel like keeping on keeping on.
yeah. I'm just curious. Let me just double check something here. It says 8 o'clock on
No,
my.
it does say, yeah. I swore it said 9. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I am so sorry. I
Making
don't
sure
know. I think I'm losing my head.
Yeah, I think so too.
My God.
All right, so we talked
You know
about.
what's interesting, Don, is we're on Spotify, and our audience on Spotify is mostly like between the ages of 25 and 35.
That's
Isn't that
great.
interesting?
That's really
Oh,
good.
yeah.
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 Grizz, so I was talking to. I saw some of your notes. So I was, I even wrote at the top, like, dude, I'm in the interview right now. but
Yeah, I'm
we
sitting there
talked
jamming out to your music and getting ready, looking for moments in it. And
Yeah.
I come on and you guys are done.
Yeah.
Well, I
Oh,
want
my
to.
God.
Why don't I do this? Because I love the song so much. I was talking about the "You Take My Breath Away."
Oh, yeah.
Did you listen to that?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's
Very catchy.
it is. Now, what we didn't talk about. Let's talk about one we didn't talk about. So, "Stay." You have a note about the bass line again.
Yeah, who plays bass on your songs?
Jim Frazier,
Our
Wow.
producer.
producer. Yeah.
He's an
Excellent
all-in guy.
bass lines.
He's playing
Yeah.
everything.
He's a master musician, and he's also got a degree in orchestration, and is a multi-instrumentalist. So his sensibility about melody fits right in the groove with what we're doing. And it's just turned out to be a really great, well, it's like you and I singing, Jim producing, it's a real team. And then,
Yeah.
up until recently, we had the gentleman that masters our songs was really able to craft, even take them to a little higher level. Jim delivers some phenomenal mixes, and Joe Palmaccio is a 4-star, one of the top guys in the country, in fact, the world, became a fan of ours. I approached him about mastering, and he was very open and so generous with his time, and became a fan. And then he became a friend. And, his mastering meant a lot too. So we just have a great team. The guy that shoots our videos, Sean Hutchins, he's been involved in all the video production for us as well too. And we've got
We have a wonderful team.
a great publicist with
the quality.
Seller and
Nicole's amazing.
the quality shows because, man, when I was listening to it, everything's so clear and crisp and just sounds so good.
Thank you.
Great job on the recording.
Not just me saying it. See,
Yeah,
we haven't even talked, and he said that.
Yeah.
Well, this song "Stay" is kind of a throwback. We really went back to the '60s kind of sound, a ballad. And the video, it was my pleasure to produce that video along with Sean's help. I wanted to make a lyric video that would kind of really kind of tell the story of that song in a gentle way that I think people could enjoy it and maybe feel the love coming out of it.
All right, so let's play the outro to this, the last minute of the song. We're going to go to 2:59 and play the outro to Stay. Here it is.
With our love, we can rise above, no matter what they say. Darling, don't you want to stay? Darling, don't you want to stay? Darling, don't you want to
So good.
And that was Ross Walters on the soprano sax. He did a beautiful
Wow.
solo there.
Oh,
But it sounds to me like a TV show theme song or something, you know?
Yeah.
great point. Yeah, it
That's
does
the
that.
thing. Like listening to your songs, I get thrown back to all these different, like, I don't know, like years. Like that sound like kind of like a 70s vibe to it. And then I had other songs I listened to. I got like alternative rock. Like it brought me back to some bands, alternative rock bands back in the 90s that we used to listen to. Excellent job.
Cool.
Thank you.
Well,
It's great to be appreciated. You guys really made us feel good tonight. Thank you.
I'm sorry I came in so late. I'm sorry about that. My favorite song though had to be a Ride. I think I love that song.
Yeah,
I must have listened to that like 10 times.
Oh, wow.
Great song. Yeah, we played the parts that you mentioned, that beautiful part at the end. We
Yeah.
There is another one that you had a note on that I also agreed with. It's called Holding On. And I want to go to 136 of this. This has a beautiful moment in it as well. 136 of Holding On. Let me go up here. Here it is. Be sure I'm there. 136. Turn this up. Here we go.
hold on? Baby, I'm just holding on.
Now, you remember I mentioned the association earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Song that brought me to the association. 100%.
That's very association-like.
It
Yeah,
is.
definitely.
It is. And
That's
that
a good comparison.
that one hit me when I was listening to it today. And I was like, man, it's such a great throwback to that time period. I had one more note. We talked about Ride.
On Follow Your Heart. I got I don't know if you ever heard of the band Fountains of Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah, that gave me such a vibe of that, the way you guys constructed that song.
That's
And
cool.
there's
I'm
a
not really
specific
familiar
song-
with their music, but I'm familiar with the name. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, they had a song called Red Dragon Tattoo that kind of reminded me of that vibe.
Okay.
Really cool.
Check that out.
Well,
Yeah, definitely.
Adam wrote that song, That Thing You Do.
Yeah,
Movie.
right, from that movie.
Right.
Yeah. That's a great tune, man. That's a great
Oh my God.
for sure. Definitive.
It really, really is.
That's another song that sounds like it was written back in that era.
Exactly.
It's caught perfectly, yeah.
It's true. And then there's one more, and then we'll let you go. And that is One Step Over the Line.
Ah, okay, sure.
And the moment here that I think I want to call out is at 159. I hope that, because I took a screenshot listening to it. Let me see if it's this right here. 149. I'll go. Let me go back. We'll go to 150. And we'll start it. All right.
This is like a needle drop.
It is.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You gotta learn to play it smart, don't fall apart. But if you're gonna do it again, try to pretend that you're having a good time. Take it one step over the line.
You know what this reminded me of, and I was all giddy, was the Cure Love Cats.
Wow.
You know that song? I'm kind
No,
of
I don't.
here. All right, here. You know what I'm talking about, Chris?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What? Do you hear it in it?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
That's a great.
I'm gonna play a little bit of Love Cats, and you'll hear what I'm talking about. This was check this out. I heard you doing that, and I went, "Oh my God, this brought me back to the Cure."
They both have that kind of music hall feeling, or that pub. We imagined, even before we shot the video, it sounded like in an English pub, the people singing together. You know, you can see them lifting their beer glasses, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of that old music, that song, "Those Were the Days, My Friend."
Yes.
Remember that one?
Mhm.
Yes. You actually you brought it up. I mean, our show is heard in Manchester and around England, and I think that have you been over there yet? Because you'd be huge.
We haven't been over there, but that song did get some airplay in the UK, which we were thrilled about.
Yeah, that song wound up on the BBC.
Oh, look at that! I can see that. It fits right into that wheelhouse.
Yeah, maybe London Town will too. I hope they dig it over there.
Oh, I mean that song reminded me of a song by Concrete Blonde. I don't know. That's another alternative band.
Alternative rock band.
Yeah.
And they had a song called "Walking in London," and that's the vibe.
Okay.
It gave me. So
Really?
that's cool. Yeah.
Well, it's so cool to have these different references that remind you of other material that you like, other songs that you like.
Yeah, just take you have that that diversity, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's really impressed me about listening to what you guys came up with on each one of these songs, is that, boy, you found really nice moments in a variety of different songs, and all of them sound pretty different from each other, really.
Since Grizz is here, this is what we're going to end on. I just want to play a couple moments. Now, I know you heard this, Grizz, but I told them, I said, like, back in the 45 days, this is one I would never taken off the record player, or this is one, because it stopped me in my tracks when I was listening to the record. Now, this is one I would have called you, or we would have part of the call.
That's so great.
All right.
It is so cool you guys have known each other for so long and now get to do this show together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is awesome, man.
If you told us in the 90s we would do this, we'd be like,
I know.
that would be
Yeah,
fun.
especially with the artist sitting there with us.
The artist, that was the whole, when I put the show together, that was the whole thing, is I would love to talk to the artist and do this. And I said, holy crap, what if I could do this with Grizz and we're reliving what it was like in the 90s, only if we could have the artist in the room with us.
Oh, that's so cool.
And you're doing it.
Moments back, right?
That's
Technology lets us do it
Yes, thank God for
from
technology.
different states.
Yes.
When one first one, Grizz, was where I would have stopped in my tracks, because this whole opening verse is great, but when that chorus,
I only know maybe one or two.
all right, this is how it would have been because this has happened before. If I start this, let's just pretend, right? If we're in the car, this is what would happen. I swear. Okay, something's gonna happen here. That's what I would tell him, or he would tell me. We would know right away. Okay,
Right.
this song I can tell already is gonna have something in it. You can tell. And then when you get to this, hold on.
Maybe one or two. But I love you. Oh, I love you. Oh, I really do. I really love you. Oh, I love you. Oh, I really do. I really love you. Listen to me now. There's something I need to say. You take my breath away.
Another thing. So you remember when the Rembrandts came out?
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
That's one of those moments like we heard that that's just the way it is, baby type thing, and we go, oh,
Mhm.
you hear that? See that's that thing where we would have been like, oh my god.
You take my breath away.
And then they get to this part after the chorus.
Listen to me now. There's something I just gotta say. You take my breath
bridge.
away. You take my breath away. There's nothing left to say.
You have a little tubular effect going on there too. Like,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Very cool sound.
yeah.
You take my breath away. Hey, 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 hey. I'm just beginning to understand how much life comes without a plan. Take my hand and we're standing in the rain. It's all the same.
And like we go back to the production, that little bass in there that Jim Frazier did that. Doo-doo-doo. Even that, just so pronounced, and it just goes underneath you so beautifully.
Yeah.
And
You guys just have such infectious like pre-choruses and choruses. I think that's the thing. Wow.
yes, and then this outro.
Hey, hey, you take my breath away. Maybe you take my breath away.
Oh, another one, Dave Clark 5. That
Yeah.
has a Dave Clark 5 thing to me.
That's cool.
What was that one song they had that goes, me, oh, my lucky guy is what I am.
Yeah, that's the Turtles.
Some girls like to run. Oh, that's the Turtles.
Yeah,
She-
Eleanor.
We love the Turtles
Yeah,
too.
that's the Turtles. Same thing. It's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Same
that
vibe.
LA, Southern California pop sound. And
Yeah,
you mix that with the British rock sound and put those two things together, kind of.
God, like that would have been it. Literally, I would have pulled the car over. I would have made him listen to that 900 times. Like, dude,
Mhm.
Wow.
that's how we
Bless
roll.
you.
Well, you guys are awesome. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
spending an extra 20 minutes with us.
Yeah, I
You
appreciate
guys
it.
as well, too.
Really enjoyed it.
Thank
really,
you.
really.
And thank you, Gris, for showing up finally.
Yeah, I wish
had
I
to
was
start
here from
without
the
you.
beginning. I know, and I was so excited to talk to you guys, but
I know.
Yeah, you had all these notes in there.
yeah, I had all the notes, but I'm not here.
But
Well, you guys are great, and we sure appreciate
you.
you so much.
Sure do.
We appreciate the fact that you dig music as much as you do, and that you're as erudite about it as you are, and that you're still friends, and you're still plugging it, and you're making it happen. And thank you for doing it, from where you are to the world, basically. This is great.
and thank you for writing
Yeah.
good music. It makes it easier for us, and it gives us those moments again. It's,
Mhm.
Yep.
We were
That's
talking
what it's all about.
right. We were saying about
Exactly.
songs and the number of songs. There's so many songs that it would take 10 lifetimes to listen to every song ever written, probably.
Oh yeah.
So it's so great to get a song that just makes you want to hold on to it. So, and you've got so many more coming. So thank you and enjoy the rest of your evening. And I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Looking forward
Thank you,
to it.
guys. Have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
evening.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a great night.
Hey, everybody, this is Frank Myers, and you are listening to the Deans of Nashville with my buddies, Don and Grizz.